We were sort of a big name in the 70s, which is quite a long time ago now. And we went from nowhere to number 13 in the rating.
Wow.
And we were called Little and Large then. You know, we were a big name.
Wow.
And all the big boys want you. You know, all the television companies want you. They're all haggling for you. Look at me now doing television.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe, I know the transport's not a Rolls Royce, but I mean...
I know, apologies.
It has come down a bit, but
so when was the last,
beggars can't be choosers. Yeah.
So, Syd, I bet this is the first time you've been in a tri-show before, isn't it?
It certainly is, yeah. Just feel like the Queen here, waving, yeah. Hi, Zoe!
I bet you're famous around these parts, aren't you?
Well, it's sort of... they all know me. And but I've been in showbiz as long as I've been in, as you're bound to, you know.
Of course you
are.
are.
I think it's the younger people that don't know me, because it makes me laugh when you'll get sort of grandmas and granddads and they'll pull me up in the street and say, "Oh, Syd Little, yeah. Oh," and they shame this to the grandchild, you know, "That's Syd Little, he's famous." If you're under 30, 40, it'd be very hard to know who we were, because we were sort of a big name in the 70s, which is quite a long time ago now.
Yeah, because I was born in '84, so yeah, before my time. I knew of you. I actually watched quite a few episodes this morning. This morning, this morning alone. I've watched a few over the last couple of weeks, knowing that you was being on.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to refresh my mind. And what amazed me about watching them is a couple of things. The natural chemistry between you both. Like you could just see it on camera, but also as well that the comedy that was then, you don't see that anymore, or it's very rare that you see it now.
That sort of comedy is gone now. It's what's called vaudeville variety and all that. There's no, theatres, and we're packed every year in summer season, especially around here, Fleetwood and Blackpool. The theatres were packed with summer seasons, 2 shows a night, 6 nights a week.
Wow.
And that's how it used to be for years, through the 30s and the 40s and the 50s, then into the 60s, that's when me and Eddie turned up. But the clubs and nightclubs and working men's clubs, they came into being, and they sort of took over the theatres, and then television came along, which blew the theatres really, entertainment-wise, out of the water, because everybody was watching television. And that's when the transition came for comedy, because television's a completely different way of doing things, comedy and everything. Then in the 60s, you get acts like Morecambe and Wise, Mike and Bernie Winters, I remember that. And the technique changed, because in a theatre, you have to be very loud and shout, to the back of the stalls, as they used to call it, On television, they zoom up.
Oh, do they?
Into your face, don't they?
Yeah.
So they're getting a spot on, like, for instance, like Morecambe and Wise, when they did that thing with Mr. Previn, Mr. Preview, and you see him grab him, and say, like, not necessarily in the same order, when he did the famous sketch with the piano.
Yeah.
And you couldn't have done that on theatre.
No. Which did you prefer, though?
I preferred the live shows, And television wasn't my scene. I used to shake in my shoes when the producer of the show, he said, "Right, coming to start the show in 10 seconds, 9, 8, 7, and he stopped counting at 5. Then the music starts, da, 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 and you run down onto where you're supposed to start stand, and then go, and do the act. And 9 times out of 10, I nearly always messed up, and that poor old Eddie, we'd have to do it about 2 or 3 times, because, sorry, I forgot that line.
Oh. Well, I know from being not like that, obviously. I always get people saying to me, "How can you just be on camera?" And I always say something like, no one is ever a natural. Everything everyone's ever mastered in life, they've got to keep practicing, and over time you get better at it, don't you?
Oh, like they say, the secret of comedy, timing. And I mean, I was an example of what I've just done.
I know, I just had to say that.
Yeah, so it was quite good, yeah.
Well, let's take me back to early childhood then, Syd. Did you always have an interest in comedy?
From being a young kid, teenager-wise, I was a 9 stone, And I was always 9 stone, like wet through. I was skinny. I had national health glasses, the old wire ones,
Yeah.
And very, we're sort of a working class family. So we didn't have, our clothes were quite sort of second hand from me big brother or out like that, Hiya! Oh, we're getting noticed now. Oh dear, we're getting an entourage now. Yeah.
Do you know, because a lot of people from a working class background, they never seen it when they was growing up. If they was, if they had to get second-hand clothes and stuff.
Yeah.
I suppose it just felt normal to you growing up, did it?
Well, it was. The furthest thing was that I was going to be in showbiz and be a star or whatever they call it in the limelight. And anyway, it just happened. We were very lucky, me and Eddie. It's been at the right place at the right time. And like I say, through my teenage life, my dad, bless him, he during the war, he was in the RAF. And he used to play the accordion, and that's where I got my music ability from. And when I was 14, I had a newspaper round, and with my first Christmas, used to go round at Christmas time, knocking on the doors, Merry Christmas, and you'd get a tip. And I went to this music shop, White and Swales in Altrincham in Manchester, and I bought a Spanish guitar.
Ooh.
I had no idea, and so I got this Spanish guitar and I learnt to play it. And my dad, bless him, he tuned it up for me. And at the time it was Buddy Holly, little things you say and do, Well, that'll be the day when you say goodbye, yeah, that'll be. We're all going on a summer holiday.
I love Buddy Holly. Yeah. I do love him.
I used to sing all these songs on the guitar. And then I sort of started doing the work in men's clubs. Not professionally, just.
No.
I was apprentice painter and decorator for 5 years, right through from 15 to 21, yeah. And in that time, I got a little act together. And then Eddie, people always ask me, said, how did you and Eddie meet? Well, we met by accident.
Did you?
He ran me over on a zebra crossing.
No, he didn't.
No, we met in a snooker hall. He choked my head before he realised I wasn't the cue. Well, these are all the jokes that we used to do, because that's it. Eddie used to be asked the same thing all the time.
I bet.
So anyway, then he'd get up and do a Cliff Richard in Hi Fans. Okay, and he was very good at impressions. So we used to do all that, like the Big Bopper, hello, baby, and I'd be playing guitar, I'd be his backing group, really.
Okay. And
it worked out well, and we went to this working men's club, the Timpley Trades and Labour Club in Manchester. The concert sec, I was booked. And I did a first act, and then Eddie said, can I join you in the second spot? Because we had a bit of an act,
Yeah.
So I said, yeah, okay. So we did. He got up, and we stormed him, and we did really well. The guy came, the concert sec, and he said, Syd, I'll book you back as a double act.
Oh, wow.
I said, oh, right, okay. So that was the start of Little and Large, and then we started getting more bookings, and then we did 8 years, and then we turned professional in 1963.
63, wow.
Yeah,
You weren't called Little and Larger then, was you?
We're called Syd and Eddie.
Syd and Eddie, right.
Straightforward Syd and Eddie, yeah. We actually did Bernard Manning, a lot of people watching this might remember.
Yeah.
And he had a club called the Embassy Club in Manchester. And Eddie went there one lovely summer's day, just like this actually, and he went to see Bernard. Bernard was at the front door of his show, because he used to compare it, you know. And he said, can I help you, son? And so Eddie said, yeah, I believe, Bernard, we've been told that you'd give us a booking for the week. He said, what's you called? I said, Syd and Eddie. And he said, I've heard of you two, yeah. So he gave us a booking. It was 3 clubs a night, 7 nights a week, and he gave us 50 quid. A few years later, as you know, he's passed away. But before, when he was very poorly, I went to see him in hospital. Okay. And I told him that story, and he said, you can come back to my club anytime you want for the same money. He was a brilliant guy. Bernard used to make us laugh, because we'd do his club for the week, and really we could do with the cash, because we wouldn't be going on to Sunderland or somewhere, so for petrol money and all that. But he never give you cash. It was always a cheque. Oh. Go and see my mother on the till, and we did, bless, but whenever he went out in his A-Day and all that, it was always Reddy's.
I bet it was.
It was always Reddy's, yeah.
God, what a start of the career then. Like, so when was it from that point to actually, like, the first time that you thought, actually, we've got something here and it's starting to, like, really turn into something?
Like I say, for 8 years we went round the clubs and pubs all around. Eventually moved out of Manchester up to the northeast. We did a lot up there, Liverpool, everywhere. And then eventually on television there was a programme called Opportunity Knocks.
Okay,
and
I remember that.
It was like a Britain's Got Talent today. You know, and it was as big as that, as Britain's Got Talent. And it was Huey Green, friends. If you can't spell little and large, just put crap, we'll know what you mean. and it was big, this programme. And so our agent of the day, Major Brian Hart, he said, you've got to go on it. You've got to do this show, you know. And we said, but no, it's a talent show for, like, old men of 65, you know, with playing the spoons or a singing dog. You know, and we didn't want to get beat by a singing dog, you know, which it was likely, you know, because that's the sort of acts they had on in those days.
Yeah.
And it was really scary, you know. And we said, no, we're not doing it. Because we thought we were big enough, you know, but just round the clubs we were.
Yeah.
But television-wise, no. So anyway, eventually we said, all right, we'll do it. And so Royston Mayer, producer of, he came to see us at the Wookie Holly in Liverpool, the Wookie. And we stormed him. And Royston came backstage and said, right, you know, you can't do the first show because I've got that organised. Said, but I'll give you either the second or the third. We went on the third show and we actually won it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
but the
amazing.
thing, what it did was, it actually, go over this bump, sorry. It actually, what it did, it introduced us to Royston Mayo, who the producer is. In this business, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah, quite.
And that was it, because Royston was great. He made Little and Large.
Oh,
he
wow.
was one. And then, talk about coincidence and everything, when we, 76, the Opportunity Knocks was coming to an end. They weren't going to do any more, Thames Television. And so they were looking for another, you know, slot from 6:45 to 7:30 on a Monday night to fill the Opportunity Knocks. And so it would have been a great slot for us. And Royston asked the Thames Television, could we do a pilot show, they called.
Right.
And if you're any good at it, they'll give you a series. Anyway, we did the pilot show and it went very, very well. And they gave us a series in 1977.
Wow.
For Thames Television. It was, and we went from nowhere to number 13 in the rating.
Wow.
And that was it, from 77 right through to 1991. You know, we were a big name.
Wow.
And in the 90s, of course, that's when Eddie started being ill and ended up where he had heart failure.
Oh.
And he had to have a heart transplant.
Oh, right.
And he had to wait a few years, a couple of years, but in that time his condition got worse, and in the end he had to pack in, you know, showbiz. You know, I didn't want to pack in showbiz straight away.
No.
So I decided to go on my own, and eventually I sort of got bookings on cruise ships, doing the cruise ships, and I did them for 9 years.
Did you?
And I did the pantomimes as well for 9 years. And then I, you know, like Eddie packed it in more or less completely, because he did have a heart transplant,
Right.
and that lasted 16 years.
Oh, wow. So he had a good innings from it.
Yeah, he did, yeah. And then it was when COVID struck, although he didn't die of COVID. He died of a heart failure again with his second heart.
Oh, wow.
Which was quite amazing, really.
Yeah.
But 16 years he'd had it, 16 years.
God.
And that was it. That was the end of an era, and, you know, Little and Large.
Was he your best friend then?
Oh,
you think?
yeah. We couldn't have lasted that long if we weren't. He always had fallouts.
Of course you did.
And it's like a marriage, really. You just keep going, you know. And, you know, you get through the bad and the good and the ugly.
Yeah, no, you do.
And you sort of do.
So when you look back, Syd, and obviously like compare how comedy was then to now, like, what do you think of comedy now?
Comedy now is not comedy to me, and people of my age, they'll agree with you. They say, oh, it's not. Well, but every generation would say that. But the thing is, I mean, I was in Blackpool the other day with the missus doing some shopping, and I was sat on a bench looking at this comedy club, and it's like these acts are on, but I don't know who they are. these kids. But the thing is, the kids will know who they are, I assume. But they don't do. Me and Eddie used to do over an hour.
Wow.
Freddie Starr, all that lot. All the stars of that day. Always did over an hour on the theatre or in a club.
Yeah.
But now it's only like 10 minutes or something.
True.
And then they go on to another club. So they'll do about 10 clubs in a night.
Wow.
In the big cities.
Was it rehearsed, the stuff that you did, or was it some of it ad lib?
The act.
Yeah.
The act was started ad libbed, but as you say, you've got to have some sort of connection. You've got to have an act.
Yeah.
And it was basically the same act, really, for 25 years.
Yeah.
The only things that changed was if there was a gag about Margaret Thatcher, when she was gone, we'd change it to, but the gag was the same,
Right, fair enough.
And things like that.
So back in like the day then, was there anyone, like other comedians that used to make you proper belly laugh? Who was your...
Yes. One of my favourites was a guy called Norman Collier.
Okay.
And he was from Hull. Oh, brilliant. And Norman, he was the inventor of, I don't know if you remember, there used to be a routine, Jim Davis nicked it off him and all that. And it's a microphone, and like in the acts, in the working men's clubs. And,
yeah.
All right, all around the room, get the back, it's not working. And this had this dodgy mic, but it wasn't, it was him doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was famous for the chicken, and he did this chicken routine. But he was so inventive, and visual.
Yeah.
See, that's it. There's not many visual comics anymore. Oh, Tommy and Bobby, Cannon and Ball, their act was very visual.
Yeah.
And at the end of their act, was dynamic because Tommy would pick flipping Bobby off a stool, and he's fast asleep, walk off stage with him. And it was those sort of things, they don't seem to happen these days. Unbelievable.
Like looking back in your life then, was there someone like that you'd met, non-comedy, that you thought like was a bit of a pinch me moment?
Well, meeting the Queen.
Oh.
The Royal Variety Show. 1977, like I say, that was our first big year. We'd done our first big summer season at the North Pier, Blackpool. And we'd done our first TV series, which was successful in the April of that year. And then we got offered the Royal Variety Show, which in 1977 was the Jubilee, the Queen's Jubilee.
Oh, was it?
25 years.
Amazing.
And America does the tribute to the Queen of England, We're there watching all these legends. Me and Eddie sat in the stalls watching them rehearse. Bob Hope was the compere. Julie Andrews, Shirley MacLaine, Paul Anka, all these. And the Muppets, that was another one we had. Fantastic, but we thought, what are we doing on this show?
So you met the Queen then? So
the great thing was at the end of the show, you're line up on the stage at the Palladium waiting to be presented to her.
Yeah.
The Duke of Edinburgh was the first. And he comes to us, and we used to do this act where Eddie dropped the guitar on the stage, and all that. And he said, "Excuse me," he said, "but is that guitar live?" And Eddie says, "Yes, sir, yes, sir." And, oh my God, walked on. And next thing, Prince Charles, isn't he? Tell me, is that guitar live? Because he was just like his dad, And he said, "Wow," So that was it. Then the Queen comes along, and she was asking the same question to all we noticed,
Yeah.
And what she's saying to them, like Julie Andrews, where are you appearing? Oh, well, I'm doing a film in Hollywood, ma'am,
Oh, yeah.
And then like Shirley MacLaine, where are you appearing? Oh, I'm in Vegas, ma'am, doing my own show. And she come to me and Eddie and she said, where are you appearing? We said Stoke-on-Trent, ma'am. Because we were at a club called the Jollies, and they let us have the night off to go and do the Royal Variety Show. Yeah, it's true that.
Wow, what was she like?
Oh, fantastic. Only small.
Was she?
Yeah, only small, but very nice. But, that's it, because they said you can't talk to her unless she asks you a question, then you can ask, but you can't do anything else,
No. I bet, I just couldn't imagine it. But just
So,
imagine though, because like a lot of people like might have something in them that it inspires to be something, like i.e. like you being a comedian or just an entertainer.
Yeah.
But they never follow that dream. You know, what made you go for that dream?
Well, I didn't have a dream. It was just coincidence. Everything happened. I'd always have to be told what to do. I could never be a boss.
No.
And that's when I met Eddie, which was the best thing. It's a bit like the Beatles. I always meant, because I'm a big fan of the Beatles. John Lennon was always the boss because he had the guts to go up to, you know, if they'd not done well, like, and they would refuse to pay him, he said, "No, come on, we've done the job, you know." Well, it's similar bit me and Eddie. Eddie always had to go get the money off the working men's clubs and all that, you know. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it works well, that dynamic, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. You've always got to have an alpha, whatever you call them. Yeah,
you do. Yeah. What about you and your wife then? Who's the?
Oh well, yeah, that's a different kettle. Yeah, yeah.
How long have you been married for yourselves?
We've been married 51 years.
Have you?
Yeah, yeah.
Amazing.
We had our 50th golden wedding anniversary 2 years. Not last July. Not last April. April before. Yeah.
Wow. How did you meet?
We met by accident. No, we didn't.
Crossing it.
we met in the pantomime. She was a dancer.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, yeah. Well, she was one of the girls in the chorus line, you know, in the pantomime. That's how we met.
Wow.
And then sort of kept going.
Is it love at first sight?
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah. Brilliant.
What do you reckon the secret is then to that many years of marriage?
Marriage, do what you're told. Yeah. And the thing is, you know, you've got to be not just sort of everything that goes with a marriage. You've also got to be friends. You've got to like each other. I mean, I think that was it from the start. We sort of liked each other's company. Today, it's too easy to get divorced or, all right, I've had enough now, I'm out of here. You know, and why? Work at it. What made you go back to thinking when you first met, why'd you love this woman or why'd you love this fella? And then you say, right, now get that back if you can, or if it's that bad.
Yeah,
you know,
you're right.
But people they're too easy to give up.
Was there any like regrets out of anything that you've done?
No, I can't say there has been regrets, you know. I mean, in my personal life, got a son and a daughter. He sort of went a bit wayward when he was in his 20s and took an overdose of drugs and died, you know.
Oh, so sorry to hear that.
I mean, that, you know, my personal side of it is really, you can't blame yourself for that sort of thing. And then here comes our pub, the Steamer.
Oh. You said you retired, but you still got a pub.
Well, it's my wife runs it. She's the boss. Yeah, and my son, of course, but Dominic, he runs it as well.
Okay.
He does all the hard work in the cellar.
What's it like?
I'm hopeless. I'm all right for socialising.
Yeah.
I'll be all right just talking to people. But when it comes to actually doing a till, don't give me a till. That's terrible.
Oh, well, as we're coming to a close on the ride, Syd.
Yes, we are.
There's one tradition we do on the rides, and it's asking one piece of wisdom that you would like to pass on to a younger generation. What's your one piece of wisdom?
My one piece of wisdom is enjoy life. No matter what you do, live every day as if it was your last, because one day it will be. But I mean, you don't know. In this world, and especially what's going on today, I fear for our youngsters. And I'm upset the way things have gone, but you can't change it. You know, I mean, I had a great career. I've had a great life. That's what you got to do, enjoy life, because you don't know what's round the corner.